Line. Brought to you by Helene Curtis, makers of Stopette deodorants, flowing cream, spray, and stick, Suave hair dressing, and Endon dandruff treatment shampoo. Now let's all play What's My Line?
And now let's meet our award-winning What's My Line panel. First, the delightful star of stage and television, Miss Arlene Francis.
And now a gentleman new to our panel, but not new to picture fans, because you admired him for many years in pictures. But he is now making his debut in Two for the Seesaw, the big Broadway hit, and so is he, Mr. Dana Andrews.
And I have the pleasure of introducing that illustrious lady of the Fourth Estate, the chic and charming Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
And I have the pleasure of introducing our publisher panelist, who is also a columnist for This Week magazine, Bennett Cerf.
And as usual, it's my honor to introduce our superb news moderator, vice president of ABC, and the man who runs this show, and a gentleman of the old school, I mean the Tilton School in New Hampshire, John Charles Daly.
Thank you, Bennett, and Tilton thanks you, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Nice to have you here with us in the theater and before your television sets at home for What's My Line. We're up to our old tricks. We're trying to puzzle the panel with occupations, and we think we'll have some success tonight. We'll also have a famous mystery guest before the panel a little bit later in the show, and we'll meet our first challenger in just... And now we present the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery celebrity, for which I ask my friends on the panel to put on their blindfolds. Are the blindfolds all in place, panel?
Yes, sir.
Good. Will you come in, mystery challenger, and sign in, please? All right. Panel, as you know, in the case of our mystery challenger, we go to a different form of questioning. This is principally for Mr. Andrews, who may be unfamiliar with it. You ask one question at a time in turn, moving clockwise, and we'll begin it with Dana Andrews.
I take it you're in the entertainment business.
Well, rather, I think I am.
Miss Kilgallen?
I think he said yes.
He said yes.
Are you known primarily for your work in motion pictures?
No, not in motion pictures.
One down and 9 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Have you ever distinguished yourself in some kind of athletic endeavor?
Not in public, really, no, not in public.
2 down and 8 to go, Miss Francis.
Do you perform in any musical way?
Occasionally, yes, I do.
Mr. Andrews.
Have you appeared on the Broadway stage?
Oh, long time ago.
Miss Kilgallen.
Do you play a musical instrument?
Oh, yes, I do.
Mr. Cerf.
Would you be known as the leader of some kind of a musical aggregation?
Oh, yes, I think I'm called the leader of an aggregation.
Miss Francis.
Is it possible that you might have appeared at the Newport Jazz Festival?
Well, you so-and-so.
What?
Yes, I did.
You did. You were keen.
Let's have a concert.
Shall I go on?
You were there.
Yes, you
Shall
might.
I take a guess?
Sure, take a guess.
Is it Benny Goodman?
Yes.
I don't think I got my voice low enough.
He sounds powerful like Louis Armstrong.
I thought he did beautifully there. I thought he sounded like a Texas oil man there for a while.
He didn't sound like a clarinet at all.
I'll tell you, that was harder than playing a clarinet, too.
Well, the most recently recorded history of your many, many comings and goings, all to the benefit of mankind and very often your nation, the Newport Jazz Festival. I think Arlene was there.
Oh, I was,
Which
and he
was
was marvelous. You were just great, Benny. I didn't get a chance to tell you.
But even more important, and I think it gives us a little opportunity, and I think the folks at home and you all here in the theater would be interested. I know, Ben, that you went over to the Brussels Fair. In fact, you were just about the first of the show business people to go over to the Brussels Fair and took your gang over. And I would very much like to know what you think of, one, the fair as a whole, and two, because I think this needs to be put in perspective, what you think of our pavilion over there.
Well, John, I thought the fair was magnificent as a whole. And the theater where we played, of course, is a beautiful theater. I think it's one of the nicest ones I've ever seen. And as far as the exhibits in the theater, I don't know. I don't think I'd be a good judge of that. I suppose, depending upon what you wanted to show, there could be so many things we could show in America. And I gather they took the point of view that they had so much to show, they wouldn't show too much at all.
But how do you think of it comparatively, Ben? Because there's been a lot of, turmoil about this. I believe that the distinguished senator from New Hampshire, on the occasion of a letter received from a constituent, said we'd done an awful job. And yet, on the other hand, we read in the papers, and some people who've been over there think that it's a beautiful pavilion. What do you think of it? Do you think we've done well, or just medium, or we've done badly?
Well, as I said, I think the pavilion is beautiful, and the theater is. I really think we could have used more imagination as far as what we showed there. No doubt about that.
Well, this is what we were looking for, because I think it's something that we all ought to have some opinions on. And I trust you won't mind. I saw it a week before it opened, and I thought our pavilion was magnificent, and that the Russian pavilion was the kind of thing we could have done very easily if we hadn't used imagination, and that we did use imagination. So there you are. Thanks very much for being our guest. It's wonderful to have had you with us, sir.
Thank you very much.
You take good luck. We'll be back after this word from our sponsor.
What's My Line? Brought to you by Kellogg's. Kellogg's Cereals. The best to you each morning from Kellogg's of Battle Creek. Now let's all play What's My Line? And now, live from New York, let's meet our What's My Line panel. First, a young lady who opens tomorrow night in the play Old Acquaintance at the Westport, Connecticut Country Playhouse, Miss Arlene Francis.
I apologize for the dark glasses, but my eyes are sunburned. I'm sorry. No pain, but it just looks better this way. And I want to introduce the young man who has taken a few days off from shooting his newest picture, It's a Mad, 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 Mad World, in order to publicize his other picture, The World of the Brothers Grimm. And it is not a grim fellow at all. It is Mr. Buddy Hackett.
Thank you very much. And I would like to introduce a very lovely and charming, nationally syndicated columnist from the New York Journal-American and a pretty fair twister, Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
And on my left, our mad, 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 wonderful publisher, Bennett Cerf, who is on his way to Bermuda. Here you go.
And as always, I have the pleasure of introducing our glittering, prestigious panel moderator, master of the dubious hint, John Charles Daly.
You can see Bennett's going away for a rest tomorrow. He'd never have dared that otherwise. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to What's My Line. And just to change things a little bit and to please both Dorothy and Arlene, get your blindfolds out because we're going to depart from our usual procedures tonight and have two mystery guests. So we'll need blindfolds immediately after we get the game underway. Well, we'll meet tonight's first mystery guest after... And now we come to the second special feature of tonight's program, the appearance of a second mystery celebrity for which, once again, the blindfolds must be in place. Are they so, panel?
Back on.
Good. Will mystery challenger enter and sign in, please? Once again, panel, we go to the other form of questioning, one question at a time, in turn moving clockwise, and let's begin with Dorothy Kilgallen.
Are you a figure in show business?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Mr. Cerf?
Would you describe yourself as a big motion picture star?
No.
1 down and 9 to go, Miss Francis.
What did he say? I didn't know what that answer.
That was no.
Are you more a person of the theater?
No.
2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Hackett.
Are you from the world of TV?
No.
No?
Now, this is not to rule out appearances, but we assume that your question, buddy, is asked in terms of regular appearances in
No,
series.
it wasn't.
It wasn't. Well, then we'll give you a yes and no, admitting that there are appearances on television. That makes it 2 down and 8 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Well, now, I did say show business, didn't I? And we distinguish between show business and sports, don't we, John?
Well, actually, we agree that sports is generally in the area of show business, but if you'd like to ask questions...
Well, I thought we called it entertainment rather than show business.
That's right. You're right, Dorothy. That's right.
Okay, I'm going to stick with what else could he be? Radio? For heaven's sake.
He said he was show business.
He was show business.
Records.
All right, I'll take Buddy's big tip. Are you a recording artist?
Yes.
Mr. Cerf?
What? Was
Yes.
Would you be possibly about to do a one-man show somewhere around New York within the next week or two, down Long Island, possibly?
No.
No?
3 down and 7 to go, Miss Francis.
A recording artist. Are you a musician?
Yes.
Mr. Hackett?
What was that?
Yes.
Musician.
Are you a band leader?
Yes.
Miss Kilgallen?
Is that a yes?
Yeah.
Ooh, are you Duke Ellington? Well, I got a laugh anyway.
No to that. 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Do you wear glasses a great deal of the time?
Yes.
Are you Benny Goodman?
Yes. Well, there are many things that I was going to congratulate you about, Ben, but I think this was the best of it. We had him on the ropes there for a brief period anyway.
Well, kind of a short time, I would say.
For a short time, we had him on the ropes. May
You're
I?
answering almost in Russian, Benny. That was such a deep voice.
I was getting to that.
Ne понимаю, you know.
Tavares.
Tavares, ne понимаю. May I congratulate you on a great service done your country and certainly your profession with that great tour in Russia.
Thank
It's
you.
wonderful to have you back. As I dare say 99% of you will remember from reading the newspapers and listening to radio and television, Nikita Khrushchev does not like jazz. It all goes boo, 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 he says. But then I don't think that anything Nikita likes anybody else would like anyway. So that's par for the course, basically. One thing I would like to ask you, reading a story in the Times, an interview with you right after you got back, it makes the point that your tour grossed to $500,000 in the Soviet Union. Does this mean $500,000 for the Soviet Union as a matter of the exchange program?
Well, I think so. I think it was left over there for some reason.
But it would be hard to get it out anyway, man. That's for certain sure.
Yes, that's right.
But is it under the exchange program? In other words, when an American artistic group goes over there, they are the sponsors and the producers or the impresarios.
Well, I think it's a joint venture between the State Department and the Russians.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Now, overall, you found the Russian people were remarkably responsive and friendly, did you?
Yes, very much so. Yes, we played to very large audiences. We were supposed to play in 2,000-seat houses, and we wound up playing in 12,000-seat houses.
12,000-seat houses. That's great.
And I didn't think we were playing right here in New York City.
Right.
It was really unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing that this story in the Times said about Mr. Goodman and his band was that when he got over there, he found out that the music of Glenn Miller was very well known. And when I've been in Moscow and we go to what we used to call the Crocodile, the big restaurant, that's up near the Telegraph Center in Moscow, you can walk into one of those nightclub rooms where they're dancing, and you'd think Glenn Miller's band was playing. They've copied the arrangements so thoroughly.
Well, that's because the picture Sun Valley Serenade has played there for the last 18 years.
So all the arrangements came from that.
He used to introduce his number as Russian pieces.
When they get a picture over there, they keep it. And they keep playing it over and over again. They neglect to pay any royalties to the company that sent it over, but they never send back the film once they get it. So they have the same pictures there. You can go back to Moscow year after year, and you will see the same pictures playing, different theaters. They swap them around.
I think we were lucky to get Benny back.
Yeah.
Well, I must say the citizens of New Haven are fortunate because, if my reading is serving me well, there's going to be a kind of a homecoming for Benny Goodman and his fine orchestra and his artists in the Yale Bowl next Saturday.
That's right. Yeah.
And this ought to be the wing-ding to end all wing-dings, and I know you're also been invited to Washington to meet with the president. I don't know what the details of the dates are, but congratulations again, and thanks for doing our country a great service. We'll have another contestant after this word from our alternate. And having used up all the time, and with the panel's kind permission, I will say a good night for all of us, and thank you for being with us on What's My Line?
What's My Line is a CBS Television Network production in association with Mark Goodson and Bill Todman. This is Johnny Olson speaking.
This is our Professor Mardenbrook, gentlemen.
Hello, Professor.
I see you have everything ready.
Is this the music here?
Oh, no, we don't use any music.
We haven't got anything written down, Professor.
Well, we can't play without music.
Well, Benny Goodman used to.
Benny Goodman. I never... Frisbee, did you ever hear of him?
No, I haven't. Perhaps there's something in this book that might help you, Mardenbrook.
Oh, yes.
Oh, just sit down, Professor. And if you feel like it, you can join in.
Thank you.
Mel, let's steal some apples. That's fine, Professor. Now, anything we do, just follow us.